Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, where we break down South Africa's most pressing political stories with insight and context. Today we focus on a major development from Parliament, the election of Thoko Didiza as the new Speaker of the National Assembly. In a time of coalition uncertainty and shifting power dynamics, Didiza's rise is not just another political appointment. It signals the return of a steady hand, someone with deep roots in the ANC, a clear commitment to constitutional values, and a reputation for calm, principled leadership. But what makes Didiza's election so significant? Let's take a closer look. Thoko Didiza has never been known as a loud or divisive figure in politics. Instead, she's been a quiet force behind the scenes, someone who has consistently chosen substance over spectacle. In her first address as Speaker, she made it clear that her career has never been about chasing positions. In her own words, "I never joined the ANC to be in positions. I joined to serve the people of South Africa and to contribute to the democratic values we fought so hard for." Those words matter. In an era when many public servants seem more focused on power and perks, Didiza's statement feels like a throwback to the original ideals of the liberation movement, values rooted in service, dignity, and justice. Now, her track record speaks for itself. Born in Durban in 1965, Didiza's activism began during the turbulent years of the anti-apartheid struggle. She came into the public eye during the early 1990s, eventually rising through the ranks of the ANC Youth League and later the national structures of the party. By 1999, at just 34 years old, she was appointed Minister of Agriculture and Land Affairs, becoming one of the youngest and few women to lead such a critical portfolio at the dawn of our democracy. Under her leadership, the ministry grappled with the enormous challenge of land reform, an issue that remains at the heart of economic justice today. While her efforts were not without criticism, she was recognized for her ability to approach highly charged issues with calm, rational leadership. She prioritized institutional strength over political gamesmanship, a rare quality in a space often defined by egos and quick wins. She later held the post of Minister of Public Works and, more recently, served under President Cyril Ramaphosa as Minister of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development. Again, she did not dominate headlines, but she delivered, especially during crises like the COVID-19 pandemic and the fallout from climate-related agricultural disruptions. Fast forward to 2025, and she now holds one of the most powerful positions in Parliament, the Speaker of the National Assembly. But what does a Speaker really do? The Speaker is more than just a neutral referee during parliamentary debates. The Speaker sets the tone for legislative conduct, oversees the rules of debate, protects the integrity of Parliament, and ensures all MPs, regardless of party, can be heard. It is a position that demands neutrality, firmness, and above all, respect for the Constitution. And Didiza seems more than up to the task. She stated in her speech that, "As Speaker, I will act without fear or favour. My duty is to the Constitution, not to any party." That's a bold statement, especially now, when party lines are blurring and backroom coalition negotiations are intensifying. No single party has secured a clear majority in the new parliament, meaning we are now heading into a period of coalition governance that may define the future of South Africa's democracy. This is where Didiza's experience and temperament may prove critical. As political parties jockey for influence and control, the Speaker must maintain order and fairness. If she tilts too far in favor of the ANC or its allies, opposition parties like the EFF or DA will challenge her legitimacy. If she clamps down too hard on disorder, she may be accused of silencing dissent. It's a delicate balance, but one that Didiza may be uniquely qualified to manage. Her colleagues across the aisle seem to agree. ANC Chief Whip Mdumiseni Ntuli praised her as a voice of reason and principle, saying her commitment to oversight and institutional integrity is unwavering. Even opposition MPs, while politically cautious, have acknowledged that Didiza brings a kind of gravitas that's been missing from Parliament for some time. It's no secret that the National Assembly has become increasingly dysfunctional over the past decade, marked by chaotic walkouts, shouting matches, and even physical confrontations. Many South Africans have lost faith in Parliament as a place of reasoned debate and honest lawmaking. If Didiza can restore a sense of order, fairness, and decorum, she will have already done more than most of her recent predecessors. But let's also be honest, this appointment isn't without political meaning. Didiza is widely viewed as being close to President Ramaphosa's inner circle. Her election strengthens his hand as coalition negotiations continue. In a parliament where trust is fragile and loyalties shift overnight, having a speaker loyal to constitutional order may also help shield parliament from attempts to destabilize governance, especially from populist elements or factions within the ANC itself. She may not be a radical, but make no mistake, her presence in that chair is deeply political. And in some ways, it's also deeply symbolic. In a country still grappling with patriarchy and historical inequality, Didiza's role as a black woman at the helm of the legislative arm of government matters. It sends a strong message about who belongs in power and what kind of leadership we should aspire to. As South Africans, we often complain about politicians who chase status or enrich themselves at the expense of the public. But here we have a leader who reminds us what quiet, principled leadership looks like. Of course, Didiza's real test begins now. She'll be expected to manage fiery debates on land reform, economic inequality, corruption, and even the basic functioning of government in a coalition era. She'll face pressure from all sides, from the Zuma-aligned MK party, to the EFF's disruption-heavy tactics, and the DA's growing assertiveness in urban centers. She will be tested, not just in managing conflict, but in safeguarding democracy itself. So, what do you think? Can Thoko Didiza bring stability and dignity back to Parliament? Is her style of leadership what South Africa needs right now, or is it too soft for the high-pressure political terrain ahead? And what should her priorities be as Speaker in this critical period? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment of our political analysis. We'll be tracking developments in Parliament closely and bringing you the full picture without the noise. Thanks for watching, and as always, see you next time.